Welcome to Helping of Happiness, episode number 183. Today we are talking about being consumed with our dreams. We have guest Heidi Tagliaferri on, who happens to be my sister, and I just want to give you a little background really quick before we get into her app that she's got going and talking about going for your dreams. I just want you to know, if it were not for Heidi, this podcast would not be a thing. Oh gosh, this has been like almost 10 years ago now. I was talking about how I wanted to have a podcast, and she really believed in my dream. And it was just one of those things that was just floating around. And she and her husband bought me podcasting equipment. Well, it sat in my closet for about 2 years. And then I finally said, okay, you know what? I've been talking about this for a long time. I'm going to go for it. And she believed in me along with some other people too, but she was the one that really got me going on this. So when we're talking about dreams, really listen to Hyde, because she goes for her dreams and she helps others go for her dreams. And I just can't wait for you to meet her. We have Heidi Tagliaferri on today, and she is here talking to us about her new app that's called Consumed. Heidi, let's hear a little bit about you and what Consumed is all about.
Yes, thank you for having me on. I love that we're doing this. It feels so official, though. And normally Hillary and I talk while she's walking, I'm driving in the car. Like, we're never this professional.
And I don't look like this usually when we're on FaceTime. It's like
So this
straight
is
out of
quite
bed.
the adjustment for our
I know.
relationship.
We're like, okay.
We're trying to be professional, but also be authentic. So hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Yes, I'm working on an app. I built my own app. Really, it's in what I'm calling pilot mode right now. And so it's not in the Apple Store or anything, but it's called Consumed. And it's all about the media and the entertainment that you're consuming and your ability to track and share and do all the things that you love with the entertainment that you love. So think of it as Goodreads meets fantasy football, but on steroids for all entertainment types, right? So no longer are you hopping from app to app, trying to be in all these different places to remember what you wanted to watch and read, the podcasts that you loved, keeping track of all of those things, organizing those things, but also playing and sharing around those things. So that's what we're doing with Consumed. But what I really need at this phase is feedback, right? Like, we're so early in the game. I'm just created this pilot version so I could get feedback, because I really want it to be a space where people are telling me what they want. I don't want to be guessing. I don't want to be like the big moguls who are just building it and it's there and it never changes for 15 years. I want it to be a space where users can really make it what they want it to be.
And I love it because I do use Goodreads, but I get really fed up with it a lot of the time. So
It's
I'm
so hard.
really excited to
Yes,
have
yes,
something that's actually tailored to what I want and what I'm
yes,
actually going to be using.
yes,
So let's rewind just a sec and let's tell people about you a little bit.
yeah.
What's your background? What's your story right now? Where are you in your life?
Yes, yes, yes. First things first, I'm Hillary's little sister. So that's
The
fun.
littlest one.
That's the best part of the origin story. And my background is actually in political marketing. I know, boo, right? Like, nobody likes that. Neither do I. That's why I'm trying to get out. I loved it for a long time. I went into it thinking like, I want to change the world, right? I want to be a force for good. And I do. The people that work in politics are incredible people. Don't believe everything you hear in the media about the people that are working behind the scenes. They're good people. They're fighting for what they believe in. And that may look different from what you're fighting for, that what you believe in, but there's still a lot of really good people. The reason I was leaving was, just the vitriol and the polarization that's happening now. It's just so ugly. And it didn't used to be like that. It's always been heated, but it wasn't this ugly. And so I just am ready to get out and just wanted to take all of my experience I started at Nielsen TV research, that, TV ratings, that was my first job out in New York. And I wanted to take the compilation of my marketing background, my data background, but also just like my curiosity to try and build something that I wanted. And I was hearing that other people wanted too. So after years and years of being in politics, just ready to create joy and fun and a space where we can escape the politics and come talk and okay, we can even argue, right? We can even argue over the best book, the top movie, who's the best top sports, whatever. We can argue, but it doesn't have that emotional toll that the political and the vitriol of a regular social medium has.
which I love because I think we can agree to disagree a lot easier on
On
entertainment than
books,
we can
yes.
on politics, right? I
Yes,
mean, maybe, I don't know,
1,000%.
maybe you will have some heated debates in there, but I think it's something that brings us all together is our media and the things that we enjoy.
Agreed. I mean, think of, like, even when you're out and about, I was at Trader Joe's the other day, and, the checker, when I walked through, she's like, "Are you reading, watching anything really good lately?" Loved that she asked that because it's something that can totally connect us without it being so severe. And I think of, like, okay, so when you go and you talk to people that are semi strangers and you're trying to find a connection, talking about books and TV shows is a really great way to connect. So I do that all the time. Like, even our mom, right? Our mom will be like, "Oh, what are you reading?" And I think it's a great question because it is such a connector. It's so easy to be like, instead of "How are you doing?" which is such a weird question and can fall flat even, you
Right.
know? So it's such a connector, and you find friends that way. I mean, how many book clubs are formed because
Oh,
of the
totally.
the book similarities? How many friend groups are formed because everybody's watching Love Is Blind and talking about it? It's such a connector. So I'm hoping to bring that together into one space.
Well, and I like that you're doing that because I think of, when we grew up in the 80s and the 90s, everybody was watching the same thing.
Yes,
Everybody was listening to mostly the same thing because there was only a few radio stations or if, like
yes,
records would come out. It was
yes,
but now everything is everywhere and you could have 10 people around and everyone's listening to a different podcast and everyone's into
yes.
a different series and so it's kind of fun to find your people,
And
on that
it's,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
your tribe, right?
Mhm.
I want consumed to be like where you can find your entertainment tribe of people. But also, I want it to be a space where you can feel organized and not feel quite so chaotic. I'm really wanting us to become an aggregate, which is hard to do because there's so many different spaces that people keep track of their media or get their media or, are entertained. But I'm hoping that's the dream and the vision one day is we can help that feel a little less chaotic and bring it all into one space. But another big piece of it is I want it to look aesthetically beautiful. And I feel like we expect beauty out of some things, but there are so many huge mogul media platforms that are just terrible and ugly. And it's strange because they have so much money. Why can't you at least make this a place that makes me feel like it's beautiful and inviting?
That
So,
I'm excited to be in. Yes.
yes, yes, yeah. And as a mom, that I don't feel overwhelmed going into. Like, my
Yes.
space as a mom is already so chaotic and, things are strewn about on the floor. I want this to be my escape where it can feel clean and pretty and so that's one of my goals with it too. So that's why I need more and more feedback from
Yeah.
people of like not just like, "Hey, this feels cluttered." I'd love to hear the why and what is it about it or what do you like about other apps that feel beautiful?
I love that. I love that. So so that's you're in the feedback stage. That's where you're at.
Yes,
And you've
yes.
built this like yourself, which is just
Yeah,
crazy because
yeah, I'm
you're
not a
not
developer.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're not a developer. You just
yeah.
figured all this out. Like thank you ChatGPT and every
Yes,
tutorial in the world, right? I
yes,
mean,
yes.
it's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, thank you. It's been so fun though too. I mean, it took me months to figure out what to use. I think that was the hardest part. So if anybody listening is like, "Well, I'd love to build my own thing," holler because I will tell you exactly how I did it. And it will save you so much time because there's so many tools now with this AI burst or bubble that it's like it's almost hard to know where to start and what's right for you. And so that's what I spent a lot of time doing was there's so many different tools. Now, what I did is called vibe coding. And it's basically taking like a tool that can help you, but also then jerry rigging all the other spaces into what you need it to be, right? And I keep emphasizing like and thinking about how I've never been the smartest, right? I've
Okay,
never
were
been
you
like
ever even a code person before? Did you
no,
know any
I've
code?
taken coding classes and
Okay. So
I think
that
what
at least
yeah,
wasn't totally foreign to you.
no, no, I think
Okay.
what helps is that for a long time in marketing, you work with developers. You understand what front end, back end means. You understand
Right.
things like where your domain lives, the DNS, right? Like you understand enough to kind of like understand, oh, an API call. You get some things enough that you can be successful, but I've had to learn whole new languages, right? Like I'm not actually coding, but I'm vibe coding. I know the pieces and I still consider myself an engineer of sorts, right? Because I've engineered something with all these different pieces to make something that actually works, but I don't consider myself a developer, right? Like I don't know how to code. Yeah.
Well, just learning how to blog and podcast was big enough for
Oh,
me. I
it's
can't even
yeah.
imagine like taking that next leap into this unknown terrain, but I do think it's very cool that you're going for it
Oh,
and
yeah.
that other people could try the same thing,
Yes.
it's really
Yes.
cool.
For those of us who weren't smart in school, right? I was never like the book smart kid. I really had to work hard for like a C in chemistry, a C in math, barely graduated because I couldn't pass that stupid proficiency, right? But this is our time to shine because we are resourceful, right? And now is the time of resourcefulness. So if you are one of those people that's like, I've never been the smartest, but I'm resourceful and I can figure it out, AI has changed the game for us because we can use it to jerry rig our way into, or I always say I'm clawing my way into my dreams, right? Like that's totally what it is. We're just like jerry rigging it, you being resourceful, using all these different tools to do what we want to do. So if you're one of those people, join me. It's your time to shine.
Well, and I love the grit element of all of that because, yeah, you can be resourceful, but you really have to have grit because this hasn't been like an overnight thing. You created an
No.
app in a week. Like you've been
Yeah.
working on this for a long time. So,
Yeah. And I think it benefited me to know visually in my brain, like, what I was expecting, and that's where the beauty of thinking of it for so long came because I also had the opportunity to talk to people about what they wanted. I think when you just hop in and start building without ever having had those thoughts, conversations, writing things down, like, it's not probably gonna be where you need it to be, but it's also nice with vibe coding, you can visualize immediately and be like, "Oh, what I thought was supposed to be right is not because I can see it with my eyes." That used to be a process that could take days or weeks, and now it can take minutes. So,
so cool.
it's really it's so much more efficient.
So, so cool. What kind of feedback are you looking for?
I love
Feedback is
that.
super important. Like what would be the best kind of feedback?
Oh my gosh, love that question. So, not only just like getting into the app, but also like what is bothering you about what you're using? That is honestly really helpful of like, hey, I use Goodreads and can't they have partial stars? Right? Like that is something that
Yes, that
everyone
bugs me.
complains about. Everyone complains about it and they've never changed it. And I just can't understand why. Like that is something that is not hard to change. Um, but then also just like things like, I've always really wanted to see XYZ as I'm watching this, or I like casting predictions, or I like playing trivia. But then taking it another step further, why do you like playing trivia? Those are the questions when I really get into it. I was talking to one user and I was like, well, tell me more. Tell me why you like to play trivia. And she's like, well, it's fun. Okay, but why is it fun? It makes me feel smart.
It makes me feel smart. I knew
Yes, right?
that's totally
Like,
why we play Jeopardy and we get 3 questions right and we're like, "Oh,
yes.
we're so smart."
Oh, I'm the smartest. Like, no, but the type of feedback is anything. Is it aesthetically pleasing? What buttons didn't work? But even things like, okay, well, I don't care about the glitches. I'm more interested in like, well, I really wish that I could see what other people are watching and reading. That's really important to me. So even if they don't even use my app and they just sent me feedback of like what they've always wanted, gold.
Yeah,
Every ounce of feedback is just pure gold because it's shaping it into this thing that people really actually want to use.
yeah. Okay, you wanna know something I was thinking about this morning that would
Yes.
be really cool? Okay, so I love to make movie lists for holidays and stuff, right? Like,
Yes.
favorite family movies for Christmas, favorite family movies for Halloween, and I love throwing that on the blog. So I was thinking that would be very cool, but what if I also threw in my books in that same list
Yes.
or my
A
podcast
shared
that I'm
cross
listening
media.
to or
Yes.
whatever things, and so I could just have, like, this little Christmas like section where I could say, okay, it's Christmas time now. I want to get out and I want to make sure, oh, I
Yes.
forgot. I love to read Skipping Christmas or I love to read the best worst Christmas pageant ever,
Yes.
whatever it is that you love to read at Christmas time. That's maybe just a short, fun little thing to share with your family or
Yes. I love
anyway,
that. Yeah, that's
like
exactly what
that
you
would be
can
really
do.
fun because like
Yeah.
the good grades is great for books on a lot of levels, but it doesn't
Mhm.
incorporate. all these other things that would be fun to just
Yes.
pull in this nice little organize. It's like opening up your Christmas decorations bucket, right? You have all of those things in
Yes.
one place. This would be like my little digital Christmas decorations bucket that doesn't take up any space in
Yes.
my house, you know?
Totally. No, and I love that you said that because we're all about the cross media abilities. So you can do that even now on our pilot is like for me, I have a startup list, a custom list that's called startups, and I have shows or TV shows, movies, podcasts, books, all the things that are about the startup, right? Or like I wanted to make a list, same thing that you said about a family list, right? Like just like things that are like I could share with other people who have families, but that are
Right.
books, podcasts, movies, because podcasts really is a missing piece.
Oh,
I think
yes.
people don't realize how hard it is to organize your podcasts. It is so hard to remember what you wanted to listen to, what your favorites are, what your friends suggested. So that's something that we're really trying to make easier. But again, the cross media piece is huge. Like being able to create those custom lists and remember where it is and it's just stashed there and you can go back and be like, "Oh yeah, we haven't read this book for Christmas or watched that movie that we love." Like and then you can share it with other people or even
Yeah.
collaborate and invite people like, "Oh, this is our Peter's family, extended family book club," and
Right.
everybody can add suggestions or whatever it is. So I love that you said that because that is such a big piece of
Well,
it.
and I think of it a little bit like if you're into Pinterest, like a Pinterest board, but it's a
Mhm.
little more interactive and it's fun, you know.
Yeah, but for entertainment,
It's
yeah.
like for collections, you know. I love that.
Mhm. Yeah, and we're really trying to make all of that a lot easier too. That's something that's hard with me not being a developer is, right, I'm just jerry rigging this initial first version that is like what we need now. They call it an MVP, right? Like your MVP version before I make it an actual app in the Apple Store or App Store. So that feedback is all gold, like just fine tuning it before we got there, but people realizing like this is really early stages, right? This
Yeah,
is just the beginning. Yeah.
but it's going to be something so great. I want to talk about your faith being a big part of this because this is
Yes.
something that you and I talk about a lot and we're like
Yes.
just trying to cheer each other on through all the different things that we have, but I know it's had a really big role in this process. How has that guided you in building this? Because I think some people think, oh, faith, yeah, I go to church, I pray, I read my scriptures, but they don't see how you can apply faith to everything in your life. And I think you anyway, go ahead and take this.
No, oh my gosh. I love this question. And I love it specifically from you because you're the one who shared the book with me, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. I'm obsessed, right? Like
Oh, obsessed.
obsessed. She's just so incredible where, and I want to tell people like, I don't consider myself an artist. You know what I mean? Like I consider myself a builder and that's my beauty and that's my art. Problem solving to me, that's my art. And that's okay, right? Like you
Oh,
don't have to be a
yeah.
painter or to be an artist. And it's funny because I wish I would have taken this down, but I have this piece of paper that lists, right, all of the affirmations that Julia Cameron had. Let me try and get it. In that book, right?
Oh,
I
I love it.
have
I love it.
some of my favorites. I mean, I had a really hard weekend this weekend trying to figure some things out. And I looked over and this line said, "My dreams come from God and God has the power to accomplish them." Right? Like, how powerful is that?
So
Just yeah,
powerful.
like, so powerful that, like, God gave me this little gift or this butterfly. Some people think of them as, like, a little butterfly thought. And, but my thing is it really is not about just, like, the feeling of God or saying your prayers or your meditation in the morning. It's literally asking God the specific questions and asking those questions of like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. This thing is broken, but I've felt like you're guiding me toward this thing. Like, I have had such very specific answers that I think some people don't realize. Like, God wants to be in the details. And that means the details of your business, the details of your dream. That means like so specific, very, very specific. And so I feel like this last year, I've been unemployed. I was laid off last November, so it's giving me this beautiful opportunity
And
to egg
before
drop.
that, you were trying to do this dream and work. And so it
Yes,
was almost like
yes,
this blessing of time
yeah, like
that
this
you,
blessing of
yeah,
time. I've never had time. I've always worked a
you've always
really
been
rigorous
insane.
job.
Yes.
Yeah,
And a
And
mom and all of the
yeah,
things and a wife. Yeah.
yes, and it has been the most beautiful year of my life. I've felt more connected with God than ever before. Like, I feel like He is in the details of my dream. He is cheering me on, and it just feels as clear as day. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to be a billionaire. I don't think that's how it works. But I do think God wants me to be a billionaire if that's what I want. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think sometimes we think of like God doesn't like money, money's bad. I don't think that. I think God wants us to want what we want. And I think he's trying to help us get there because his unconditional love is all about joy and our joy and happiness. And I think he also knows too, like, my goal is to honestly become a billionaire and then share, like, do good things for the world. Like, and so who better to have $1 billion than someone who,
I
do you know
know.
what I mean?
Then
Like,
you. Yes.
yeah,
Take me
it's
on your
like,
yacht. We're gonna have so much fun. I can't
yes.
wait.
No, Trey's yacht. Trey's the one. I don't want a
Trace it.
yacht.
That's right. I
I'm
forgot.
scared
You
I'm
don't
going to
want the
drown
boat.
in the middle. Yeah, I don't want to drown in the ocean. No, but no, yeah, but exactly. You know what I mean? Like there's so much good that can come from anyway. And so I just feel I love this question. It's just God is in the details. He has guided me every step of the way. And we've talked about this before, but if you haven't read The Artist's Way, first of all, get it by
Get
Julia
it.
Cameron.
Get
She's
it.
incredible.
I'll
But
link it in the show notes so people
yeah,
can see it because it's really changed the way I look at my life.
yes, it's so good, and her morning pages are journaling, right? And you don't even have to believe in God to implement what she suggests, but she's all about this creator and how the creator wants you to create, and the creator has created you to create. And whatever that means for you, if that's creating a beautiful home, if that's, you know, whatever it might be, it just is so different for everybody. And so I just feel like God has truly been in the details, and I can't stop saying it. And I feel too like I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable with how I talk about God. And so I've just tried to make sure that they know, like, I'm talking about God in my way. That can be the universe for you. That can be whatever that means. And the version of my God loves it when you acknowledge him in whatever form it is that you think he is or they or whatever, right? Like I just truly believe that God has a great sense of humor, but he also is like our number one cheerleader. So thank you for asking that question.
Yeah.
He's
No,
really
I
been a big part of my life.
it's been so fun to have those conversations and about our morning pages and what comes out
Yes.
of those journaling every morning. So, if anybody is out here and does have one of these dreams on their heart, what is your advice for going for that dream or where to start or, you know, how to start figuring that out?
Oh my gosh, dream girl dream. That's all I have to say is like dream girl dream. It doesn't even matter what that dream is. Like my biggest thing, I truly believe, I think of science when I think of momentum, right? I think of like momentum is so powerful. And I think God blesses momentum. Like any action you can take, God will capitalize and bless you for that momentum. And like, so for example, my thing is just start doing the research, right? Like say your dream is like, okay, I want to be an interior designer. Great. Get into Chat GPT and start figuring out what is a business model? How can I make money? Or even something as simple as just like writing down what you want. I think sometimes people really struggle with not even knowing what they want. And so really taking some space and some time to like write down some thoughts of like, even write down on the paper, I don't know what I want, right? That is so powerful. Putting like words to your feelings is so incredibly powerful. And that is movement. That is momentum. And that's how you get started. And I get stuck all the time. But when I get stuck and I don't know what to do, I cry, right? We all like have those moments. We're stuck. It could be 3 days. It could be 2 weeks. It could be a year. But I cry it out. But then I do my journaling. I do my morning pages. And there is so much power that comes from those morning pages. I even you know, I got really muddled and confused from some feedback, not from users. User feedback's always incredible. It's always the people who think they know things that get me confused. So I love my mentors, but I talked to my mentors and I got really confused. But then I started to realize that's not from God. Like, right? Like my creator is not going to have me confused if I'm on the right path. At least not that kind of confused, right? And so I wrote out my North Star vision to help.
Yay! I love the doodles.
Yes, I doodle, right? I doodle on
Mhm.
it. Like I'm not an artist, but I can like at least color in the words and um like just try to get myself into what I'm calling this. My friend actually helped me realize it, like call it the North Star to help me when I have those conversations that are really confusing. Back to the North Star vision, back to where I feel like I need to be from my creator, right? Like, um, and I can't even remember your question, so I'm sorry, I'm just
Oh,
rambling
no,
on.
I
But
was just saying if anybody has a dream, where do they
oh, yes.
start,
So
you
if you
know?
have a
Yeah,
dream, like, just get
yeah.
started, but also a lot of it is, like, being vulnerable and asking other people who are maybe doing your dream or have done their dream, like, "Where do you think I should start?" But also, call me. I know you don't know me, but if you wanted to talk about your dream, I love that, and just, like, shoot me an email and be like, "I'm stuck. Here's what I'm trying to do." I mean, I have a friend who's even trying to start a trash can cleaning business, right? Like that is not my wheelhouse, but love talking to her about it, love brainstorming with her because sometimes dreaming is such a lonely road and
Yes.
you have to be pretty delusional to get to a big dream, right?
'Cause our dreams are big.
Our dreams are big, but also like if you don't dream it, I think of that movie Shang-Chi where one of them, I think it's on Shang-Chi where she says, if you don't know what you're shooting for, you'll never hit it, right? Like, so you have to at some point figure out what your dream is and then try to just take one step at a time to get there.
Well, and I love that dreams can be on all different phases. Like, it doesn't have to be a business
Yes.
dream, right? This can be a hobby.
No.
This can be, oh, I always wanted to go to this cool place. How do I
Yes.
get there? How do I save the
Yes.
money? How do I get the travel points?
Yes.
How do I arrange
Totally.
my life in a way where I can do that? Or I've always wanted to be a pickleball champion. Like, how do I find a
Yes.
pickleball group? Or, it could be anything that
Anything.
you are interested in, and just and I think listening to those cheerleaders and listening to the Lord especially and not giving in to the haters or people that don't even mean to be
No,
putting
no
down
one's
your dreams. I
I
think
think
most
most
people don't
people
even realize
yeah.
their comments are
No, no,
affecting
no.
them, you
No,
know?
and I think though, it's good to hear feedback, especially if your dream is a business. It's really
Yeah.
good to hear a
Oh,
lot of
yes.
negative feedback and be aware like, "Oh, they're right. Like I'm really not focused on revenue and revenue is what solves all problems." You know what I mean? Like like it's good, but at the same time there has to be this north star. And I think that North Star for me is my creator and my God, and it helps me get grounded again into what I need to be doing because it's a rough path when you have a big dream. But also, yeah, I
Yes.
agree with you. Like the dreams, like you want to start your own Pilates studio, you want to be better dressed. That's my big dream. Like,
I know.
someone
Someday
help
we'll
me with
reach that
that.
dream. When
I
when
know.
Hallie's the fashion designer, she'll dress us
Yes, for
all. We'll
real.
be
Take
fine.
me shopping. No, but it's yeah, so I agree with you. It's like dreams can be so many different things and they don't have to be what someone might think is artistic or beautiful. It could be cleaning trash cans, right? Like it can be anything that's on your heart and mind. So I love that. I love that question.
I love it. Okay, so are there any lessons that you've learned from creating Consumed?
Woo! Woo!
We have a lot of lessons. Maybe
Yes.
pick a couple or something.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so many lessons. Well, first of all, like being close to your creator, right? I think that's the biggest lesson. I think the second lesson for me, the really big one is protecting my mindset. Who do you
100%. Mindset
yes,
is
yes,
everything. Yeah.
mindset. So I limit my Instagram consumption. I only get 15 minutes a day. And I don't consume on Sunday unless it's something specific. So I let myself consume social media on Sunday if it's like specific to meal planning because I might be meal planning, you know what I mean? Like things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
When
but
you're
I've
using it as a tool and not just as recreation.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I've also drastically cleaned out my Instagram and how I get my news. And I think that's really helped my mindset. So I only get news from like the AP, Wall Street Journal, like actual accredited sources. I try not to get news from, you know, a person heard from a person heard from a person heard on
Right.
Instagram and then they made a meme about it. Like I try to be really intentional about that consumption because I really feel like it affects me and but then also I have to protect who I get advice from on a business level. And sometimes that's you might get advice from your mentors that isn't right. And that's hard because they're good people with good intentions and it just isn't the right fit for you. So I think the third things is doing things that feel right, even if they seem wrong. Like, not wrong morally, right? But like
No, but
wrong.
does it seem like maybe the right next step,
Yes.
right?
Like,
Or seems like
so
a little out there, like, why would I do that?
yeah,
That doesn't
like that
even
doesn't
seem
make
like it
sense.
makes any sense. Yeah.
Yes. So, for example, I love Sarah Blakely. She's one of the people that I follow and I look up to. She inspires me a lot. And some of the things that she says really help me of the sense of like, you know, nobody's innovative when they've done it the same way everybody else did it. And in the startup culture, there's this one way you do it, which is so funny because startups are innovative. And so you'd think there isn't just one way to do it. And I'm on the cusp of new technology with vibe coding that nobody's ever really like made a huge app with vibe coding before. I mean, yeah. So it's just things like, okay, well, they don't say this is right, but this is what feels right. I'm going to go with that North Star and just try it and see what happens. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe I'm not doing it the right way, but maybe it leads to different innovation. So I think those have been the top things that I've learned. I mean, I've learned a million things just like in terms of actual education of engineering and how things work and things like that. But in terms of things that are really easy to share with others, I think those are my top for sure.
Mm, so good. Okay, so how can we find Consume so we can give you all this feedback?
Yes, yes. Okay, so Consumed is just on your browser for right now. You can use it on your phone or on your computer, but you just type in app.consumedapp.com. So, or if it's easier, you can just go to consumedapp.com and then you can find the test pilot from there. But also, I'd love to hear from you. So, if Hillary wants to put my email in the
Yeah.
show notes, or if you want to shoot Hillary an email and she can connect us, like I have literally texted and emailed every single one of my users to get their feedback. Not everybody's replied because they don't know me and they don't know what's going on, but I love to talk to strangers specifically about Consumed because then you're giving me real and honest feedback and not being nice. Because the one thing about feedback that's really hard
That's so
is
true. It's really
yes,
hard when you're like, or you
yes,
don't know, you just like excited about it, but you don't know what you want. Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. And that's fine too, right? But it's like, with feedback, it's been hard because I need people to tell me things they don't like. And people naturally don't like to share negative things, right? They think they're being hurtful, but actually, the more hurtful you think you're being, the more helpful you're being to me when it comes to feedback. So, so that's really helpful. So, yeah, so consumedapp.com. So, like consumed as in I'm consuming my food or I'm consuming my media, right? Consumedapp.com is the best place to go. And I just love to hear your feedback, see what you think. Tell me what you hate or love about Goodreads or any other of the tools that you're using. And I just love to get your thoughts. So thanks for letting me come on and tell people about it. But
Oh,
also, I
yeah.
hope that people can get what they need for their dreams out of this. I don't want it to just be about like me and my app. I really wanted to share like the gospel truth of dreams, right? Of like your creator wants you to have dreams. They want you to dream big and they want you to do things that you want to do and will make you happy because our creator has this unconditional love that we just can't even fathom. So go dream big, dream girl, dream. That's where it's at for
Dream and
me.
then act on those dreams.
Yes.
That's my second piece is that
Yes.
don't just sit there dreaming. Like if you
Yeah, you
have a
gotta
nudge
get
to do
going.
something, do it and do it fast. Don't like
Mhm.
stew and stew and stew. Just
Yes.
do it. Take a step. Take a
Yes,
step.
like, even if you're drowning in those babies and it feels dark and heavy and you can't even give it 10 seconds, like, literally just write down your feelings. That is momentum. That is
Mhm,
one step.
mhm.
Or go look at ChatGPT and brainstorm with ChatGPT or some other AI tool. Like, that's momentum. That's taking steps. Yeah.
Love it. We need like a dream club or something. Wouldn't that
Oh
be
my
fun?
gosh, I would love to go to Dream
We need to
Club. Are
create a
you kidding
dream
me?
club. Oh,
I
right
love
now
Dream
it's just me and you. We have 2 members, but
I love dreams. I love Dream Club. Tell me more. I wanna know
oh,
everybody's dreams.
oh, someday we're gonna figure out Dream Club. That's gonna be on my list. That I'll have to morning page
Yes.
my feelings about Dream Club.
I think you're onto something.
Oh, I love it.
I
Okay, so is there anything else that you wanted to share before we move on to our helpful and happy questions?
No, ask me you're helpful and happy. I
Okay,
love it.
so I put this on every podcast that I can, unless it's like gone really, really long or something.
Sure.
But because this is the basis of Helping of Happiness, what I am trying to do with Helping of
Mhm.
Happiness is to just bring more happiness into our family life, especially for these mamas that are slaving
Yes.
away, trying so hard and are so tired and are
Yes.
it's just hard to be a mom. But there are some things that can bring a little bit of joy, like a really
Yeah.
yummy food that you're like, "Oh my gosh,
Yes.
I hate making dinner, but I'm really excited to eat this tonight," you know,
Yes.
or we're getting takeout, but I'm making the most amazing cookies this Saturday. You know,
Yes.
I want to be able to help you get the recipes that will be really fun and healthy, or
Yeah.
not, well,
Not
healthy
healthy,
sometimes.
joyful.
Sometimes.
We'll call I tell my kids it's good for your soul, but
It
not if
is.
you're "This good
It
for me?"
is.
I'm like, "It's good for your soul."
Comforting, joyful, celebratory, all of the
Yes.
things, right? So
Yes.
the other thing that brings me so much joy and which I want every family to do, even though maybe it's not for everybody, but is travel together as a family. So I love to
Yes.
talk about travel. I love the bonds that connect there. And then the last piece is just little home hacks or like, for example, like this whole podcast talking about dreaming, like that can be a hack too.
Mhm.
But okay, so question number one,
'Kay.
favorite food or meal?
Ugh, okay, sushi hands down is my
Oh, I
favorite.
could have maybe guessed that for you.
Yes. No, I could eat sushi for every single meal and feel well, like but I'm also gluten intolerant, so having specific sushi and it's not fried or anything, so it's actually it's
Oh,
really
the
good
kind
for
of
you.
sushi you eat is actually,
Yes,
like, very
it's
fresh. Yeah.
really good for you, and so I feel great after I eat it, when most things that are delicious that I love, I don't feel that great after I eat them, but sushi, hamburgers, and tacos, I could eat every single day. Love
Mm,
them. Love them.
yes. Love them
Yeah,
too. Love them
yeah.
too. Although I do have the fried stuff on my sushi because 'cause I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
gluten
No, so
intolerant.
does yeah, I
So
get
I
that.
don't always feel that great after I eat it, but I just
No,
really love it.
but it's so
It's
delicious.
so good.
I know, so good.
Okay, let's talk about travel because this is something that's just
Love
so
travel.
fun. Okay, what is your favorite trip or your dream vacation or both?
I I just have such a hard time choosing these things because I've been so lucky and privileged to travel the world quite a bit, and those were some of my first dreams, right, was traveling,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that led me to be who I am today, like, I'm not scared of a lot of things because 'cause I've gone to and done a lot of new
Well, and
experiences,
don't you
but
think travel brings you bravery and
it does.
curiosity?
It
I mean,
does.
it's like
Yeah,
once you've been somewhere, you're like, "Oh my gosh,
yes,
now I gotta go everywhere." Like,
yes.
it's so cool. Yeah.
It's so good for you. I think it's so good for people to travel, especially if you're, like, college age. I really push, like, you've gotta travel, you've gotta get out of your comfort zone. Um, I just I have a soft spot in my heart for New York, so if you have never been to New York, I always say, like, "You've gotta go, and you've gotta go in the fall." Like, you have to go.
It's
I
the
know.
dreamiest.
There's
I
just
love New
nothing
York in the fall. You
Yes,
think
there's
of You've
nothing
Got Mail and the pencils and the leaves or whatever
Yes!
it is that she talks
Sharpened
about.
pens I know, the bouquet of sharpened pencils. No, I love New York, but I just struggled to choose because I love everywhere. I Scotland was incredible. I love
Mm.
England and Scotland. I love anyway, this is more about where I wanna go. Right now, my biggest dream for travel is I have this dream that I wanna take my family to live in Italy for at least 3 months. And I wanna bring my in-laws because I married into an Italian family, so I'd really love to do that. That's something that's really on my heart right now is a
Yes, go
3-month
do it so I can come and stay with you.
Yes, and I want everyone to come. I want everyone to come.
We will totally be
Yes,
there to eat with you and tour with
yes.
you, and
I
I love
just
that
daydream
dream.
about my father-in-law fighting with the person that and he can't speak Italian in the grocery store. I daydream about, just all the things. I just think it would be so wonderful and a great experience for my family and my kids and me, right? Like it sounds delightful. So that's my biggest travel dream right now.
I love that dream. I love that dream. Okay, last question. Do you have a home hack for us?
Okay, so I never really identified as a great homemaker. It's just something that feels like it takes a lot of energy and stress for me. But some things that came to mind were because both my husband and I worked, like really sitting down and identifying the roles of what everybody needs to do. And so, and I don't mean like I mean, like, the best thing that we did was, like, Trey is in charge of dishes all the time, not just on Tuesdays and Thursdays, all the time. Trey is in charge of making sure the laundry gets down to the laundry room. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, really
Mhm.
specific tasks that stay consistent. Because men and women are different. And We just operate very different. We've tried every different way to do that as a partnership, and it just like that was the best way that helped us. But then the other thing is using technology. And of course it's going to be me who says this, but like I'm shouting out my shopping list to Alexa all the time. She's probably going to hear me, but
She's going to start
it's
adding things to the
true.
list just because you said
Yes.
it.
I mean, people laugh at us, but we have little Alexas all over our house because I have no memory capacity and I hate having to like run to my phone and add something in. So
Yeah.
I'm just shout things out. Add this to the calendar. Like I have all of our calendars synced up and they show on our Alexa screen in the kitchen. I can shout out to say, what are we doing today? Or add things to the calendar, the shopping list. But also I use ChatGPT for meal planning, for recipe hacks. Like if I'm like, oh crap, I don't have oil, I've got to use applesauce. How much applesauce? I use ChatGPT and Alexa for that when I'm doing things like that. And then ChatGPT, I've been really trying to toy with AI of how to better manage homework for my kids. That's something
Yeah.
that overwhelms me. So what I'm trying to do is to identify what are the home hack things that overwhelm me and how can I use technology to help me feel less overwhelmed. So I don't know if that's quite what you're looking for, but
It's like perfect considering what we're talking about
yes,
today. I
no,
feel like
it's
it's come full circle that
yeah.
you're creating this app to help us have more fun and excitement in our life, but we're also using it for the practical things, right?
Yes.
Things
Yeah.
that are hard for us. And because I don't know anybody who doesn't have a hard time with the things that you're talking about.
No,
I
yeah.
mean, those are all things that I struggle with too with my
Yeah.
kids. So
No,
I
and
think
it's
it's brilliant to find ways to streamline and to just not be frustrated all the time. Let's get that
mhm.
out of the way so we can get back to those dreams, right?
Yes, yes. And you can use ChatGPT, like even things like, so my daughter, I really need to help her with her spelling and math, right? Like you can create little agents or little ChatGPTs that can help you say, okay, well, Fallon's learning this in math. Help me create a worksheet or help me do this or help me do that. That's actually another app idea I have is like a homework
The
helper
homework
to
book.
help you
Oh,
manage that, but then also to give games that are really specific to what they're learning right in this moment. I mean, I have a million ideas. The problem
yeah.
is like,
How do we have
which one?
time for all of our
Yes.
dreams? I know
Yes,
all of our
exactly.
dreams, all of our travel, all of our
Yes.
restaurants we're going to go to
Yes.
and our food we're going to make.
And that's
Oh,
why the homemaking sometimes gets put on the
but
wayside in my
I
home.
think that a lot of people feel like they're not homemakers anymore. But I don't
Yeah.
think that it has to be. That's another thing that I like being a homemaker is not like we used to visualize
Yes.
with our
It's not
mothers
like
and
the
our
50s.
grandmothers. You know
Yes.
what I
It's not
mean? We're
yeah,
not
yeah,
doing
yeah.
cross stitch on a pillow and we're
Yes.
not like I think homemaking is just making your home run more smoothly, you
Yes. And
know?
feeling my thing with that though too is you know how I am with my plants. Like you can see them here.
Yeah, I love your plants. I
Plants.
need plants. I need to learn how to
Oh
gut
my
kill a
gosh.
plant.
It's just light. And that's hard in Texas because it's so hot. But like it's
I
light
know,
is
close all
good.
the blinds. We're roasting
Yes,
in here. Yeah.
yes. And I specifically like to live in a home with a lot of windows because that's how I feel brighter in my soul and like plants really help. Like you've seen my house. We're under construction literally our entire lives with trying to fix things around here. And so the one thing I have is my plants that makes it feel like a home. You know, it's like plants and curtains. At least we've got that.
I think
But
instead of a backsplash, you just need plants now. You
oh,
just
for
put, like,
real. I
little
know. I
planters
should
in there
just
and
put
just, like
little herbs for my backsplash in my kitchen. Yeah, my backsplash isn't done. My fireplace, we're just a work in progress around here. But yes, no, it's plants or maybe I don't know if that's a homemaking tip, but man, if you can do nothing else that will make your home bright and happy, it's plants. Get
Mhm.
some green,
I love
clean your
it.
air.
Clean your air, get more oxygen. Get more oxygen.
Yes.
Oh, hi, this has been so fun. Thank you so
It's
much
so
for making
fun.
time to come on here and
Thanks. Thanks so much for letting me talk to people about it and
oh, yeah.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning my way through this. And so doing this is all helping me learn. So any feedback people have or anything I want to talk about, I want to hear it. And
Which
I just
I
love
think
it.
is kind of a beautiful thing because I think a lot of times on a podcast or in the news, you see somebody who's already mastered something already. And
Sure,
sometimes it's kind of neat to see somebody who is truly in the middle of what they're doing. You know, it's
Yeah.
not always a before and after because most of us live in the middle. Most of us
Yeah.
are not
Yes.
finished with whatever thing that we're
No.
trying to do in our life. You
We're
know,
all
I think
struggling
we're
and
all living in the middle. So
yes,
I
clawing our
really
way out.
appreciate you sharing your middle with all of us. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you for having me on.